Why would we want them in a diverse city? Imagine what they'll do in a diverse city. They'll probably cause so much mayhem and destruction and everything just because they don't like anything that's not white and Christian, like we just heard.
What go down with the Major fam today? It's Major, and today's topic is the all-whites town in Arkansas. I've been hearing a lot of fuss about this all-white town in Arkansas, so I wanted to get into it together as a fam. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it, fam.
A whites-only town is being built in Arkansas. I didn't see this one coming.
Meet Eric Arval. He's the co-founder of RTTL, which is Return to the Land. This gentleman and a few other white families have purchased 150 acres in Arkansas and also some land in Missouri, and they want to separate themselves from the rest of us. If you're white, you're in.
Dang,
If
that
you're
was
black,
loud. My bad, y'all.
You're considered whack. If you're Jewish, they can't do this. And if you're Asian, you can't persuade them. And if you're gay, not today. Yeah, pretty much if you're not white, straight, and Christian, you just can't get into the club. Damn. And recently, he pulled up to TMZ.
I mean, hey, can I be mad at this? Yeah, I could be mad, but am I gonna go out of my way and be like, oh, they need to be stopped, I mean, let them separate. Let them separate away from us. Why would we want them in a diverse city? Imagine what they'll do in a diverse city. They'll probably cause so much mayhem and destruction and everything just because they don't like anything that's not white and Christian, like we just heard. So let them be on their own, separate, be on their own, have their own little community and everything, because if they was in a diverse city, it'll be way worse than this. So, I mean, yeah, I guess you could be mad, but shoot, don't stop them. Because if you stop them, guess where they gonna go? They gonna go back to these diverse cities and cause trouble. That's how you get, the stores and all of these places and being messed up because they don't like thriving minority communities and things like that. Like, man, let them be on their own, please. Don't stop this. Please let them be on their own. We just know where not to go. We already know where not to go. Wherever this is in Arkansas and Missouri, we already know. They got a big red flag waving on the map where not to go. And this is it. Like, don't stop them. Let them do their thing. Keep them as far away from me as possible. We don't need them in a diverse city. Hey, this is probably the best thing for them. Please.
To basically confront a pretty interesting interview about his beliefs. It was pretty long, but I want to highlight the most important parts of it.
It's interesting. I'm hearing you that you want this kind of purist European culture and that it doesn't necessarily define you as racist. But the people you attract, whether you are or not, may well be hardcore racists. I mean, fair?
I still don't really know what you mean by racist. Valuing race in itself, I don't think there's any moral problem with that. Mistreating people because of their race, there's a problem there, sure.
Now, in this case, basically the man is asking him, listen, we understand that you guys want to move away from the rest of the world who's not like you, but don't you consider that to be racist? And very cleverly, he avoids the question by pretending that he doesn't understand what racism is.
Got him!
Clearly he understands what it is, but what he's saying here is it doesn't really matter as long as we're not willing to admit that. We just want to be by ourselves, and that's the most important thing. So why is it racist? Like, why is somebody racist for wanting to do that? And he said that pretty much in an interview. So,
I mean, to be honest with you, they could have found this in pretty much any major city, and it's plenty of major cities that's majority white, white areas and things like that. I mean, I don't know why they felt the need to move to Arkansas. I don't know, but hey, man, let them do it. I don't really care. I'm not too mad at it. Let them do their thing. Keep them in that little box area, as long as it don't interfere with other people's lives. And they not messing with no minority group outside of that. And if that's the only way to keep them peaceful and not going out here doing crazy things, running into crowds and you know, all the types of stuff we be seeing on the news about like extreme people like them. Hey, keep them in that little boxed area, please.
So the interviewer decides to kind of rebuttal the question from a different position.
But you say valuing people because of their race. A lot of people would say you're devaluing people because of their race.
Well, just like to be something, you have to not be other things. To value something, you have to value it above other things. So if you value, Jewish identity and the Jewish people, then by default, you're going to value them above non-Jewish people.
And so he says, well, listen, there are many people who love themselves more than they love other people. To be something means that you can't be the other thing. That's true for somebody who says they're Jewish or somebody who says they're black. But the problem with this argument is it also eliminates people. Like, you can be certain things at the same time. Just because you're not white doesn't mean that you couldn't be gay. Or just because you're black doesn't mean that you shouldn't be Christian.
Yeah.
It's pretty much of a bad faith argument as to what he's trying to accomplish, but I get it. He just doesn't want to be around us. So he loves himself and his other people more than he loves integration, which that is his prerogative. And you'd be surprised who agrees with him.
It's been an uptick in racism since Trump. Y'all know that. Y'all know. Y'all seen that they building a whites only town. I want to say it's in Ozark or something like that. In Missouri. Is Ozark in Missouri? I don't know. Only Ozark I know is the Netflix show. I never heard of Ozark before that. But they're building a whites only town. And it's a white creator on here. I'm going to post his picture. He was so flabbergasted. Oh, it's 2025. We shouldn't be doing that. Yes, the fuck they should. And please build more. Please build more. Let us know who you are. Because I want to know that I don't need to with you.
That's exactly what I said. I already know it. Like, that's exactly what I said. If whoever feels the need to move to this town, why are you trying to fight to have their approval if they not messing with you? I don't need their approval. I mean, let them do what they want to do. Please. I understand this America and everything, everybody should have the freedom, yada, yada, yada. So, bro, let them do what they want to do. Let them go to that little town. So we already know. We don't have to unknowingly know that they don't like minorities and things like that. Like, bro, let them do their thing. As long as they not hurting me or, any other minorities or anything. Like, bro, I don't care.
Now, clearly you have people such as this lady who's from the black community like, look, we glad you gonna stay over there. We want to know exactly who you are. And you know what? I gotta be honest to say I applaud people like this. And the reason why, it's not because of their position. It's because of their willingness to stand firm in their ground. To say, hey, listen, this is really what we believe. We don't really want to be around you, and we're not trying to pretend to be around you. But hey, this is what we think. We believe this. And I think that's fair because so many times as blacks or minorities, we get around people who we think that we're past that zone, which is racism and prejudice, and only to find out later that this same person is talking behind your back, calling you this, calling you that, or is behind you struggling and something like that. So it's pretty good to understand that
Let me know ahead of
exactly how
time.
the person feels and they want to move very, very far away. And then there's also another problem with this whole situation.
So a certain segment of the black community is up in arms. Tell me something I don't know. They're upset at the fact that a group called Return to the Land has set up an all-white settlement in an area of Arkansas. This group is now working on setting up another settlement in an area in Missouri. Now, I'm not one for segregation, believe me, but I believe I'll live next to whoever wants to live next to me. And if they don't, that's their business. But let's not act like black people haven't been segregating themselves for years.
But wait, it gets worse.
Let's not forget, a couple years ago, Ashley Scott and Renee Walters got together and created their own community, their own black community. They wanted to create generational wealth and keep their legacy and culture. So I'm confused. What's the problem when the white people want to do it? And I know what you're going to say. You're going to try to bring up history and that victimization mentality. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. That happened many years ago. We're talking about now.
So both of these are
Me personally, bro, do your thing. Either side, whatever race you are, bro. I could really care less, bro. If you want to go out there and build your own town like that, cool, go do it. You can find a group of people just like you, just like how this dude did. Hey, go do your thing. Me personally, I want to be in a diverse area. I like eating Vietnamese food. I be eating pho all the time. I go over and I eat Japanese food. I like ramen. So I like being in a diverse city, and it's a place for that too. Hey, at least here in America, the United States, you got literally diverse. You got diverse cities when it comes to race and all types of things, man. You got your only this type of race of towns here, and you got any race of towns or whatever you are type of towns that allow you there, man. It's everything here, man. So, me personally, I could care less, bro.
black creators on TikTok who are saying, listen, these white people have every right to move away from blacks. Because why? Nobody says it's the wrong thing when blacks do it. Now, again, when you listen to an argument like this, it seems that the argument is based in meritocracy and parity. But unfortunately, it's not. You see, the reasons why whites want to be away from blacks, it's not a power issue, okay? It's not an abuse issue. I don't think that none of these whites can say that I want to be away from blacks or Hispanics or Jews or gays, because I feel like, I'm in danger. I hit a ceiling in my career. No. You want to know what the reasoning that he used? Well, I'm tired of this system failing in the LGBTQ. Those are the arguments. Now, typically when blacks moved away from whites, like we have in Mound Bayou, Mississippi, it was to create their own city away from oppression. And that's why Mound Bayou was the first black city in the country. And what you saw in Mound Bayou was something that you ended up seeing in other places, such as Haiti and North Carolina. We also saw this in Tulsa with Black Wall Street. The ability of blacks to fund their...
But this was different. Like, that was different. Because that was back in the day. Like, they was kind of forced out of them cities, bro. They know it wasn't really no opportunity in trying to, like, merge together. So, like, they went and they created their own city. They said, if I can't get it by being nice, man, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna do my own thing. I don't need your help. Built this on my own. I don't need your help, So that was different. Like, they was literally segregated, and they couldn't do anything. But the dude who started that white only town now, he just doing it just because, like, his whatever he thinks, his ideology. I hope I'm saying that right, but he's just doing that because the way he thinks, and that's what he wants. That's what he wants. So, I mean, hey, at least he's letting us know what type of person he is, ahead of time before things get worse, and buddy start trying to run through crowds in a diverse city. Let him go to that town.
Own situation, start their own businesses, start their own social groups for fear of discrimination. And eventually, we already know what happened with Mound Bayou and Haiti and North Carolina and Raleigh districts and Tulsa. They ended up doing what the blacks feared, which is destroying them. These white people are not oppressed. Black people still leave the United States out of that fear. Now, we don't have to say that fear is qualified in your honest opinion, but many blacks do it for many reasons. I live in the continent of Africa, and many strong pro-blacks have left the United States out of some level of fear, all right? Because of oppression, they feel like they have more opportunity in Africa than they do there. And that's the same reason why blacks wanted to buy the land to basically build their own communities. It was not because they hated whites or they were trying to preserve their blackness because of the same reasons why the whites are. No, the whites are doing it for a completely different reason, And I believe within that reason, there is a superiority complex, and that's why they're also doing it, because they believe that their culture could be better than somebody else. They can be inferred in that, and that's typically what traditional races think. So when you get blacks arguing on, this particular side of the coin, they're trying to say, well, the blacks are doing it, nobody says anything, and now the whites are doing it. But you're not arguing from the same position, which I feel is completely negligent and irresponsible. But wait, there's more. Mr. Arval is quite active on X. He says this: we've been blown away by the level of support. White Americans want and deserve our own spaces.
Dang, that is kind of crazy though. 15K likes for that? I mean, hey, if you got a town of 15,000 people, hey. I mean, hey.
And we're going to do what it takes to cure them. If you use Ethereum or USDC and you want to support me to keep it up, here's this long thing there. He also says the same thing. Some folks have expressed they'd like to donate through Bitcoin and Tether. Bitcoin, thanks for the support. It's needed and appreciated. Now, this is interesting. When you want to start your own community, you do so by begging for donations. This is different from when our ancestors did it in Black America. You see, we couldn't sit back and beg for support on Twitter and get money on our Bitcoin for free from random white folks that we didn't know to build what we want to see. No, you build what you want to see by actually doing the hard work, establishing commerce, establishing, the things in the city, like what happened in Mount Bayou. But clearly, Mr. Arval is not doing so. At the same time, he wants to be away from the rest of the world, but at the same time, he doesn't have any money to fund his dreams. So he's no different.
I mean, that's usually how it always go, man. I don't feel bad for him. I mean, shoot. Maybe them people will help him out. I don't know. I don't really care. I don't really care, man. Like, hey, I just want to know why he calls it return to the land. Bro, this is not white people land. It's not black people land. It's Native American people land, bro. I mean, yeah, we've been here for a long time, but this is not our land, bro. We all came from immigrants and everything. If you're not Native American, bro, you came from immigrants, bro. It just is what it is. Immigrants, shoot, your people, like my people, we know that history, but we not from here. I don't know why he's calling it return to the land. If you want to call it return to the land, I don't know why he's not going back to Europe and things like that. But maybe it's because he needs money. Maybe he's actually doing this just to get some money. But who knows, man? And who cares? I do not care.
Different than any other scammer out there, in my honest opinion. You want somebody else to pay for your segregation. When the blacks did it, we had to pay for our own separation. And many of us who come to any part of the world, be it Uganda, be it Ghana, people are working, saving their own money in doing so. Even coming back to the United States, working some more, saving up their money, and then coming back, reinvesting, and then creating those systems that make it valuable. Now, you have this 150 acres of land. I really believe that you don't have a whole bunch of skill there or anything to market to the rest of the world. And that could be true. But when I see people like Mr. Arval, I'll tell you what really happens with folks like this. There's typically a bunch of guys who are unskilled, who don't have money, who feel like the world has betrayed them. And, well, I'm not going to say that they're losers, but I can guarantee that they're not very successful people. Because there are many people who share his particular mentality, but there's a problem. There are certain groups of white people who share his mentality that don't even want to be around him. And why is that? Because a guy like Arval can't do anything for anybody. Even the greatest white supremacists and racists can't be around a person that doesn't have anything going for him. And a lot of these guys that are moving into this community, I can guarantee they're lowly skilled, lowly educated. For sure. Nobody left their Wall Street job to go move to Arkansas with a bunch of guys they don't know.
Nobody know how to farm. You're not getting farmers moving here. You're not getting you're not getting the people that you need to make this a thriving town. So I hope it fail. You know, I hope it fail. But hey, let them do their thing. I do not care. I hope it fails because you know I don't want to see a town like that. Like we know this town, what this town is filled of, man. So I hope it failed. But do I care? I don't really care. Let them do their thing.
That may or may not have criminal records. They may or may not be, you know, all kind of weird things. We don't really know. And I'm going to be honest. A lot of people just don't care. And honestly, if these are the kind of people that want to move to a place that nobody knows in Arkansas, in Missouri, I say, hey, man, congratulations. I hope that is very, 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 very successful for you. I hope you get all the country dirt land cheeks that you can get for the rest of your life. I mean, seriously. And the reality is it's probably going to fail anyway. And like I said,
Facts.
a bunch of other groups come to America, come to the part of the world and keep their strong traditions while integrating with other people. I'll tell you a group that does it very well. Indians. You see Indians come to America. Usually their kids grow up in the times are changing, but you don't really see them marrying outside of their culture. They're here in Uganda. They're in India. You see the Somalians do it a lot wherever they go. Yeah, it's just unfortunate for these guys. They can't do it because really they probably don't have very much to offer. But guys, what do you think?
Man, hey, like I said, I like a diverse city, and you know I like being able to go get some fuzz, some ramen, then at the end of the night going to go get a taco. You know, hey, that's just me personally. They not with that, and that's okay. Let them do their own thing. It's somebody out there for everybody. You know, like a relationship. You know, some people gonna go to this city. I'm pretty sure the city gonna fail because, like he said, there's nobody there, man. They ain't got no farmers. It's just people feel the hatred, probably just moving there. So hey, let them do that. Let them run that town off of hatred and see how far that go. Guarantee it's not gonna go far. The only thing I don't like is that they pushing this narrative. You know, they can probably pretty much make up whatever they want on this island. I mean, not island, but you know, that little town. So, you know, if they wanted to teach kids a certain type of history and everything, they can. You know, they don't got to teach them about anything other than, you know, all the accomplishments and everything. They don't got to teach them about anything bad that certain groups of people did or any of that. So that's probably the only bad part coming out of it. And then, you know, that narrative is just going to continue to spread on and fuel more hatred. This is probably the only bad part that's coming out of this. But other than that, hey, at least we know what these people really are. But y'all let me know what y'all think down below. Go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Only if you was messing with the video. Hit that notification bell if you'd like to see more of me. Binge the rest of the videos on the channel. It's Major and I'm gone.